I run an AI development agency, and if you're a business owner yourself, you know that you become the bottleneck in the business a lot of times. It could be because of some approvals that are pending on your end, or maybe some meetings that you should have scheduled earlier, but you could not do that because you had a lot on your plate. And most business owners don't have a full-time need for a personal secretary. Yet, there are some use cases that they could really use a lot of help from a personal secretary, which could really streamline these things for them. And that is where this AI agent comes in. In this video, I'm going to show you how I built an AI agent, which helps me with these small tasks. For example, giving me a summary of all of the actionable items in my email, checking out my calendar events for the day and giving me a summary of those, and maybe just scheduling new events for me on the calendar as well so that I can keep the ball rolling and the business just keeps on moving forward. The best thing about this agent is that it's conversational. You can easily dial a number and get on a call with the agent and have it run you through your day. And that is why I see myself using it every day on my commute to work. In less than 5 minutes, I can get caught up with what I'm doing in the day, what are the action items, what are the calendar events, and if I need to cancel an event or schedule a new one. So yeah, let's just get to the demo. Okay, so let's just get started with this personal secretary AI agent. I'll just click on talk with assistant, and in a moment, it'll start talking, and let's see what it does.
Oh, Ahmad. Hope you're having a great day today. How can I help you?
Yeah, thank you. The day has been good. Can you check what my calendar looks like for today?
One moment. You have one event scheduled for today. Event, lunch with client. Time, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., Asia, Karachi. Is there anything else you need help with?
Can you just tell me what, do I have any actionable from my email?
Just a sec. Here are the actionable items from your email. 1. Check Lily Roberts' email regarding custom marketing strategies. 2. Attend to overdue tasks in ClickUp. 3. Review daily USD to PKR rates from Wise Rate Alerts. 4. Schedule a meeting on the 4th of December with your team as per Duncan Stoddard's email.
Yeah, this is good.
5.
Yeah, thank you so much. Before you just make all of my inbox public.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right.
I apologize. If you need any further assistance, feel free to let me know. Have a great day.
Yeah. So I have to step out and pick my child from the school at 3 p.m. Can you schedule a
Would you
1-hour event for that?
This'll just take a sec. I've scheduled a 1-hour event for picking up your child from school at 3 p.m.
Boom. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Have a great day too.
Okay, so hope you like the demo. And this is kind of something that can virtually use infinite number of tools. Like you can start connecting it with a huge array of your documents. You can connect it with Google Drive. You can connect it with emails, multiple inboxes, maybe just Telegram and whatnot. So yeah, it has a lot of possibilities. So let's just get to all of the things that we have right now, which we're using as tools. And then we can just dive deep into each one of these one by one. So firstly, I am using Vapi for this. So this is vapi.ai. You can go to the website. You can see like they've got a voice assistant, a basic voice assistant, and you can use that without even logging in. But once you go to Vapi, once you sign up for Vapi for a free trial, they'll give you this dashboard where you'll be able to create a personal secretary or any assistant for that matter. Give it a system prompt, give it a first message. The first message is something that assistant says when you're starting the call. Add a transcriber, tune the voice, see the functions or the external tools that it has access to, have some advanced settings and have some analysis as well. So this is basically the tools part, which is giving the these superpowers of connecting with my inbox, connecting with my calendar, and scheduling events on my calendar as well. And these are 3 tools that I've configured here. You can go to the tools tab, create these tools, and once you created these, you can just connect them with a webhook. The webhook connects them with n8n. Like basically just these 3 tools are a one-to-one mapping with these. For example, the get user email summary has a one-to-one mapping with this tool. The second create user calendar event has a one-to-one mapping with this tool. And the get user calendar availability has a one-to-one mapping with the first one. The first one is relatively simpler compared to the other 2. Once we get into more details, I will just tell you why that is. And yeah, these are the 3 tools that gives this assistant all of the access to the external world. And we're using kind of a connection between Vapi and n8n to make this possible. And every time it has to use one of these tools, it gets the information from Vapi in this webhook. and it gets the output. It gives the output back to Vapi using the response. And as I said, you can just create as many tools as you want, connect it with the with Vapi, and give it more capabilities. So yeah, this was the high level rundown of what it does. So now let's just get to these one by one and see what's happening under the hood. So when I started the demo, I initially asked it to check my calendar for events. Let me just run that once again and show you how that works.
Hello, Ahmad. Hope you're having a great day today. How can I help you?
Thank you for asking. Can you check what my calendar looks like for today?
Give me a moment. Calendar for today includes 2 main events. 1.
Yeah, okay,
Lunch
thank
with
you.
client.
Bye. Yeah, so basically you saw this, right? So when I asked it about my calendar events, it went to Vapi and found the tool where it could find a user's events, and that connected to this webhook, and then we executed this, right? So okay, one more thing that is really important to see here is how the tool connects with Vapi. So this was the get user calendar availability tool that I was looking for. This tool helps the user get the user's calendar information for a particular day, and this is the query date, which is one of the properties for this. The properties are basically a structured way to send data between systems, right? So this is the query date, and like for example, I could ask it, what does my calendar look like for next Wednesday, and then the query date would be different, right? So this is the date for which you need to query the calendar. Use the ISO 8601 format. Remember that the current year is this and the today's date is this. Sometimes with LLMs, they really forget what today's date is because they're trained on historical data and they don't have knowledge to the real world. Especially in the API level access, this happens quite often. So it's very important for us to mention what the current or today's date is. So using this query date, I pass this on to our tools in n8n, and you'll also see that we're getting this over here from the request as well, right? So if I go to the body, the function get user calendar availability, and you'll see the argument is query date. So yeah, I get this query date from Vapi, and I basically just pick that up from in the edit fields node and just extract the date from this whole request body that I got from Vapi, kind of just filtering it. And once I've done this, I just pass it on to the Google Calendar, right? So you'll see like this is the output from the edit fields node. This is the formatted date. I pass this on as it is to the Google Calendar, and it'll just tell me like it'll just add the filter for me. You'll see that if you have a blank Google Calendar node, you won't have this options or after thing. So I added this after because at least some part of the event must be after this time, and I just want the events that are there for today or maybe like in the coming days. If I want to make it very specific, I can also add a before filter and add the date, like just add one day to this date, right? So I could do that as well. But since this is a demo, I think this will work. So yeah, at this point, the Google Calendar has fetched 2 items for me, which were there in my calendar. So there was this lunch with client. Let me just move it to a day. So yeah, there was this lunch with client, and then there was this pickup child from school. These 2 events, and it has extracted these 2 event items for me. If I did not use an aggregate function, it would run the OpenAI node twice for me, which I don't want. I want it to get all of the events and then summarize them into something that is human readable, or summarize them into like me. For example, let's say if I'm commuting to work and I'm calling an agent, I just need a quick rundown of what my events are for the day. So using the aggregate function, I combine both of these 2 items into one. So yeah, with the aggregate node, I want all the item data into a single list. That is exactly what I wanted. And I want to put it in the calendar data field, and I want it to include all of the fields. Like I don't want to filter. So I want all of the data. I can just throw it to ChatGPT without any knowledge of what this schema is, and ChatGPT can help me just create a summary of these events. So yeah, at this point, like got the data from the webhook, extracted the data out of it, got the event from Google Calendar by adding the filter, merged those events into one list, And then I asked, oh, and then I have an OpenAI node. And this is really interesting. So I've got one system, like I won't go into a lot of detail with the OpenAI node because we've covered that in the previous episodes, and you can click on them, the link over on the top right to see where I've done it in more detail. But basically, we need a system message and a user message to make sure that OpenAI is doing what we're expecting it to do. So I will give you a JSON with the user's events. Give me a human readable, concise summary of their events. Only mention the most important things that they need to know on a phone call. So yeah, I need to really distill this information into something which is like which should be very, very simple, and which should be easily covered in a call, right? This is the system message. And of course, I need to give it the calendar data. And for that, what I need to do is I go to the, like this is the aggregate node right before me. This is the calendar data. I just got the calendar data and I converted that into a JSON string. What JSON string does is it just converts it into uh, a string data type, which is very easy for ChatGPT to ingest and then make sense of. So yeah, very simply, I just did this. And because of this, now ChatGPT has all of this data from me, which would be very hard for a human or a text to speech engine to send to the human and tell them like, hey, this is your summary. Like that, this won't make any sense for a human. So ChatGPT is now converting this thing that I got from Google Calendar into a human readable summary, which is something like this, right? So this is what I got. Yeah, you have two main events today: lunch with a client from 1 to 2 p.m. and picking up your child from school between 3 and 4 p.m. Both are in Karachi time zone. Make sure you plan accordingly, right? So there's this. So you could do this, and finally, this is how this OpenAI node then responds to the Vapi API and gives us what we're expecting. So yeah, it's very important to note that Vapi does not know where all of this data is coming from. It is just trusting whatever the webhook is to give it whatever it is expecting, right? So one more thing to note is if you go to Vapi tool calling documentation, you'll see like this is the tool structure. This is the request that we get, and then example modification, and over here, yeah. And this is the result that this is a format in which you have to send Vapi the results. You need to give it the tool call ID. The tool call ID is something that Vapi gives to you in the first webhook, and the result, like whatever you want to feed into Vapi, it'll just use that information as 100% truth and just convert it into speech for the user, the field that hosts the actual output of the results for your tool's execution. And this is what we've exactly done. So results, tool call ID, we're fetching it from the webhook. Like when we initially got the data from Vapi, we had the tool call ID over here. So tool call ID, this is the tool calls list, and this is the tool call ID, right? This is the tool call ID that we had. We're fetching it from one of the previous nodes, and we're using the result for result to send to Vapi, and it'll just use this information, just convert it into speech and send it to the user. And that is how it does this end to end, like asking the webhook for a question, for a date, asking it to go to Google Calendar, get the events, convert it into human readable summary, and then respond back to Vapi. So all of this is happening in these 5 steps. Respond to webhook is basically giving this part back to the assistant. So yeah, and nearly the same thing is being used in all 3 of these tools as well, right? So the only difference is that rather than having a simple linear chain, we're using an AI agent in the middle. So yeah, I think we've already done multiple AI agents historically as well. So let me just quickly, I think the get user email tool is more interesting. So let's just see how that operates. So before going into that, let me just quickly demonstrate it to you. Let's go back to Vapi. Yeah. Let me start a call with the agent and see.
Hello, Ahmad. Hope you're having a great day today. How can I help you?
Yeah, the day is good. Can you quickly tell me if I have any action items from my emails?
Give me a moment.
So right now it's reading my emails. It's
Sorry, a few more seconds.
sorry. Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
Sorry, a few more seconds. No worries. Here are your action items from your emails. 1. Follow up with Lily Roberts regarding web app development and discuss marketing strategies. 2. Review the thumbnail task status for the YouTube channel. Fawad Ahmad ClickUp notification. 3. Check the latest USD to PKR exchange rate.
Right.
Wide
So
rate
yeah,
alerts.
it got all of these from my email, and now it is using that information to just send me a message. You just talk to me, right? So in a conversational interface, I was interrupting it in the middle. I was just saying something else. So yeah, it is also interacting with me in real time with that as well. So yeah, let's just use this. Let's just dive into this because I think this is very self-explanatory. We've probably done this earlier as well. So let's just see what is happening here. So yeah, both of these two nodes are exactly the same. So we got the information from Vapi in this webhook, and we sent the response to Vapi in this node. But yeah, in the middle is where all the magic happens. Let's just open this. And oh, by the way, like let's just go to the tool first. So we go to the tools, and I want to get the user's email summary. And the tool, what it does is get the user's email summary, right? We don't need any specific properties or filters or any queries from from Vapi's side because we've configured all of that into n8n. So for example, like if I wanted to give it more elaborate control, I would have said, like I would have added more properties over here, like okay, I want unread emails only, or I want emails that I haven't read in the last 1 week only, or I maybe just want the emails from the starred emails, or maybe from a specific label. If I wanted to filter those, I could add those properties here, receive them in n8n, and then add the filters and like give the agent those filters to play with. So I think that's not necessary right now because I just want to get all of the unread emails of the user. So once the webhook comes in, like we get all of this from Vapi. Like we also get the users chat, but we don't need all of that. What we know is that Vapi is asking for the user's email summary of 100 emails, and for that we've created an AI agent. We've given it something like this. So you're an expert personal assistant who sifts through your user's email and gives concise summary of the action items for the recipient only, right? So it's very important, right? So there could be emails in the middle where I'm CC'd, but I don't have any action items for them. So I mean, like I shouldn't be notified for them. You'll be responding to the user in a phone call, so keep your responses very concise and ideal for verbal communication. And that is what we're giving it as a system message. And in the text, we're giving it like, give me a summary of actions of items. Give me a summary of action items from my email. Super simple, right? So we literally hard coded because this is a demo. So I mean, like we could very easily replace this with whatever the user is saying in Vapi, right? So on the left, you can see that we'll have what the user said over here somewhere as well. So yeah, hello, I hope you're having a great day. Yeah, today, can you quickly tell me if I have any action items from my emails? If I want to just send the agent this message, I can literally do that as well by just dragging and dropping it here, right? So I could just do this, but I just, for the sake of this demo, I just want it to be very simple. So I just hard coded this user message. We can basically ask it any kind of questions as well and just wire the agent exactly from Vapi as well, just like I said. But right now we're doing this. So once we ask it this, it goes to, it has this Gmail tool. The Gmail tool is a little is not as trivial to understand. So basically, I've connected it to the Gmail account. The tool description is super easy. Like it's Gmail, right? So it's very simple. Like you can just reuse the resource message and get all of the emails. So I don't need to give it any specific tool description right now. But if I had multiple tools, for example, if I had the send email tool and the set calendar event tool over here as well, like multiple tools, then I would probably need to give some custom description. So yeah, I set it automatically. I want to read the messages or the emails, and I want to get many. I want to get a lot of messages, like all of them probably. But right now I've just limited them to 50. You can limit them to 5 as well. With Simplify, it is a relatively simpler version rather than making this very elaborate. And I want so yeah, when you add the tool first, you won't have both of these filters. You can go to add filter and add these in from here. And I want like unread emails only, and only those that are received after today minus 1 day. So I want only the emails that were received in the last 24 hours, right? And using that, it can give me just those emails. And you see, like, we've got all of these like emails from Gmail. And as we did earlier, like earlier we had an OpenAI node which would summarize this, but over here we don't even need that because we've got an AI agent which has the OpenAI chat model connected to it, and we've told the AI agent that that you are an expert assistant and your job is to respond to us in a phone call. So keep your response very concise and ideal for verbal communication, and you give us a concise summary of the action items. So it does all of this magic and gives us this output that you'll see here, like Lily Roberts from careers. Like this row is basically what it gave us from this huge calendar data that I was showing you earlier. Like you'll see, let me quickly show you this, right? So this is event number 0, right? So yeah, see, this is from Lily Roberts. Then then we see, just a moment. Yeah, then this is event number 1. This is a ClickUp task closed by Fawad. And then email number 2, ClickUp task. Email number 3, Wise account. All of the information that we got from the user, from the email, right? So the agent receives all of this, and it parses that into very concise summary and responds to us in a webhook. And that's simple as that, right? So this is the content that got output. As I showed you earlier, we basically have to give the response to Vapi in a very specific format, and that is the tool call ID and the result, which you can see here. Like this is how we want to give the result to Vapi. And since we've done this, and we've wired it with the output of the previous of the agent, right? So we've simply just wired it with the json.output.content, like AI agents JSON output and content. This is the summary that we got from the AI agent, and we send it to Vapi in this format. And once we've done this, Vapi just converts that into speech and talks to us just like a personal assistant would. The same is happening here as well, except that we've got the list events and the create events calendar tool. We need to make sure that whatever time we're scheduling for the user, so it's not blocked by other events, and that's why we've got the list event tool over here as well. So the AI agent should be able to get the user's events and make sure that there's no event which is there at a time that you're hoping to schedule the event for. The window buffer memory is super consistent with our last videos. You can see our previous videos in which I've gone into a lot of detail of what window buffer memory is. And yeah, this is basically what our whole tool is. So yeah, let me know how you like this, and also let me know what kind of capabilities you'd want this tool to have if it were your personal AI agent. And yeah, I'm also open to hearing about what kind of ideas or what kind of tools or AI agents you want me to build in the next videos. So yeah, if that is something that you're interested in, that is something that really excites you, just mention it on the bottom, and I'll make sure that I add it to the list and create one of those agents for you guys, so that yeah, you can just use them in your real world as well. And with that, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.